To be a New York Met?
It means a lot. Like I said earlier, playing in a city like this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I'm super excited about it.
What do you want to tell the fans about your style and what you bring to the table?
I mean, I guess I can say I'm going to bring it every day. I'm going to come and I'm going to compete. I'm going to give it everything I got. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to play to win. So I think that's what you can expect.
Well, being with one team for so long, do you feel, I mean, are there jitters? Is it excitement? What is your emotions coming somewhere new for the first time?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, excited for sure. I think I'll learn more about what that means when I get to spring training. But at the same time, there's quite a few faces I am familiar with the Mets. So yeah, I'm just excited to get to spring training.
Obviously, everything's a little bit bigger in New York. Huge contingent of meeting folks. What does it feel like just taking this moment and just to kind of soak it all up?
Yeah, this is pretty cool. I mean, luckily I felt a little prepared for it. Being in the World Series. So I was like, well, I don't know if it can be bigger than that, but no, this is really cool. And I mean, playing in New York is a challenge. I'm not unaware of that. I'm not shying away from it, and I'm excited to take it on.
What did you learn about what it takes to get to a World Series? And I'm not saying like hits and runs, but the intangible things.
Yeah, I mean, you need a lot of talent, which is what this team has. But other than that, I mean, it takes a group of people on the same page here to win. Simple as things as like maybe you got to move a run over sometimes. Maybe you got to do stuff like that. So I mean, there's a lot of guys in this clubhouse that have been on winning teams, and not only have been on winning teams, but have been leaders on those teams. So there's a lot of people in here that have the ability to help lead this team to World Series, and I'm just gonna fit in where I can.
Well, what's the vibe about playing a new position and how are you approaching the challenge of playing third base?
Yeah, well, it's a challenge, and I mean, it's kind of exciting. Something new to work on. I mean, if I'm going to become a good third baseman, it's going to take a lot of work, and I'm excited to put in that work and work with Kai and work with Mendy and whoever else is going to be in that circle with me. But yeah, it's exciting, and I'm ready for it.
David Stearns introduced you as one of the best right-handed hitters in all of baseball. How humbling is that to hear it from your boss?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, at the end of the day, during free agency, you want an organization to appreciate you and value you to the level that you feel you are as a player, and that statement definitely lines up with how I feel about myself. So I mean, but at the same time, I have a lot to prove here in this city, a lot to prove here with this team, and also a ton more to accomplish for my career. So I'm just looking to get better.
What are the challenges of making that switch? You kind of touched on it a little bit, but you're moving a few feet, but it is a difference, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't played there, so I really don't know. But I mean, at the end of the day, you just got to catch the ball and you got to throw it first. But I think there's some intricacies about third base, where to play, bump plays, things like that I've never had to pay attention to at shortstop. And those are little things that I'll definitely have to do.
New team, new number. I'm sure people in the media and fans make more of that than maybe you do. But any thoughts on that?
So number 19, I think my dad used it at some point during his career, but it was my number growing up, and then obviously with the Blue Jays, 19 was not a number I was going to touch. So I went with 11, but yeah, I'm excited to be back on 19.
What does it mean to be playing with Juan Soto?
Special player, incredible competitor, someone who has matched pretty much every moment he's been introduced to, World Series, playoffs, things like that. So to play with, one of the best players in baseball, and there's a few guys on this team, not just one, but yeah, I'm just excited to see, how these guys can make me better.
Well, Toronto's a great city, but what New York thing are you most excited to do off the mound?
I don't know. During the season, it's pretty much about baseball, but I will say when I landed, I looked around and saw the city, and it hit a little bit different than it does when you come as a road player. I think as a road player, you kind of come and you try to ignore all of it. And when I landed, I kind of looked around and soaked it in and realized like, this is something. This is massive. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
You were so close to winning the World Series last year. What would it mean to you to bring this club back to the Fall Classic and be a part of that?
Yeah. I mean, I think winning in New York is probably the biggest accomplishment you can have in sports. So I look at it as a challenge. You know, there's, like I said before, this team has a ton of talent. A lot of proven guys that are proven in the playoffs, and I just look forward to chasing that goal with them.
David, what does Bo Bichette bring to this Mets ball club?
Well, I think first and foremost, he brings a really good player on the field. This is someone who's been one of the better and more complete right-handed hitters in all of baseball, really since he entered the league. And beyond that, it brings just an intense competitor, someone who never takes a play off, never takes a bat off, and that can only help the group as a whole.
Being as good as he is with runners in scoring position, how does that fortify his lineup?
Well, I think anytime you have someone who has a demonstrated ability to slow the game down, to stay in the moment when the moment matters the most, it can only help. Now, we all know in clutch situations, there's only so much you can control, but he's really good at controlling what he can control, and then we let the results follow.
David, was there any concern on your part when, trying to get him here with the team about him not having played third base before, and how do you think he will adapt to that?
We think he's going to adapt really well. Generally, in my experience, if you look around baseball, when you're moving a shortstop to a different position, they generally have the skills and ability to adapt to that different position pretty smoothly. He showed he was able to play second base on one leg in the World Series and did just fine. And I think he's going to be. I think they're going to be learning moments, but I think he certainly has the ability to do it very well.
Was that something you had to sell to him, on playing the new position, and how intrigued was he to play the new position?
No, we didn't have to sell him at all. I think he made it very clear from our first discussion that he will play wherever. He just wants to win. He wants to be in the right organization, and if that meant moving off a shortstop, he was on board.
What is it like to bring in Luis Robert in center field for this ball club? Now you've got a stable player out there who's strong defensively as well as has offensive acumen.
Yeah, look, Luis has big time upside, and we've seen it at previous points in his career, and all of those skills and tools that allowed him to perform at such a high level a couple years ago are still there. So we're excited to bring him into our environment, bring him into our team, give him all the support and help we can, and then watch him go play.
Is your rotation strong enough in your mind?
Look, I have a lot of confidence in the pitchers we have here. We have some really good young pitchers coming. We have guys coming back off of seasons that we know they're better than they performed last year. They know they're better than they performed last year. I've also been very clear throughout the offseason that our preference would be to add a starting pitcher. We're still in those discussions. We're still having those conversations, and we'll see where we go between now and opening day.
David, was that competitive fire or work ethic, as you described Bo having, was that something in particular you look for, coming off of the disappointments of last year? Is that a lack or just a bonus?
I don't know that it had really anything to do with last year. I think it's more just a recognition that that's part of what Bo brings to a club. And it's an important element, and we're going to benefit from it.
What's your message to the fans right now in terms of the ball club that you're going to bring to spring training?
This is an exciting team. This is a very good team as we stand right now, and we're committed to doing everything we can to consistently compete here, put championship caliber teams on the field, and that's what we're trying to do each and every day.
David, is this club a championship contender in your mind?
I think we have the potential to be. We have work to do, and we're going to have to go improve it. But I know we have a lot of guys on that team who are committed to doing everything they can to have really successful seasons.
Thank you, sir.
Carlos, you got Bo Bichette in your lineup now. What does that mean?
Oh, it's exciting. You get an opportunity to add an inning bat, a guy that we all know the numbers don't lie, right? Bat to ball skills. He takes pride on being a top out. And, coupled with a lot of the guys that are on our current roster, it just makes our lineup a lot deeper. A right-handed hitter that can do a lot of different things. Hit for average, for power, driving runs. It's exciting.
What does it mean to have a guy who's so good with runners in scoring position?
That's the name of the game, right? You got to score runs. And I feel like at times every team at some point throughout the course of the year, you're going to have stretches where it's hard to score runs. And to have a guy like that knows what it takes. And I think it's just because of his ability to use the whole field. Being a tough out with 2 strikes. I remember facing him, not an easy, when I was doing infield positioning, not an easy guy to defend because he can go line to line. And when we're talking about with runners in scoring position, I feel like he raises his game.
Man, you're going to be a very different looking clubhouse when you walk in for spring training. Just what is it like walking into a group of new faces?
Yeah, I mean, definitely different. But exciting at the same time, appreciation and respect from a lot of the guys that left, but also exciting, with some of the new ones that we got in here, a lot of gamers as well, guys that are willing to do whatever it takes to win baseball games, just like the guys that we had in here, but again, it's a different mix, and I'm excited about that.
Were you worried for a while? You guys weren't making many moves.
No, you never know how the offseason is going to unfold. But trusting David, trusting the front office, when you have the ownership group, Steve and Alex, that they're not going to stop. So I wasn't worried at all, and here we are. We're still a few weeks away from reporting spring training, and we feel good where we are.
What's the benefit of bringing in a guy fresh off the World Series?
Yeah, I mean, it's what you want, right? A guy that is being there, he said it. The reason he chose to come here is because, the opportunity to win and be in that stage. But he's fresh off. He knows what it takes, and that's contagious.
You've got a bunch of guys, including him, that are going to be playing different positions. Do you feel these guys have the ability to adapt?
100%. Especially when we're talking about a guy that has been a shortstop pretty much his whole career. They're athletes. There's aptitude there. There's work ethic. There's a lot to like. So, from my view, it's going to be an easy transition for a lot of those guys. Because like I said, those guys came up as middle infielders, and when you're moving them, like, they're athletes.
Ben, you worried about your starting pitching?
No, we got a healthy Sean Manaya, a guy that we missed last year big time. He's going through a normal off season. Korai Senga, counting on him, and then you're looking at the 3 youngsters that we saw, whether it's Plain, Jonah, Spro. You got Clay Holmes, you got Peterson. There's a lot to like about our rotation right now.
Just a couple weeks away from spring ball, how do you feel like the mindset? What are your expectations for the mindset of this group right now, and how is maybe this offseason a little bit different going into spring?
Yeah, no, look, I mean, it might be different, but the expectations are the same. You show up to spring training with the same goal, but knowing that it takes a lot of work. I want guys to be themselves, and that's the goal. I'm just excited with this group of guys that we got on our roster right now, and it'll be different, but at the same time, like I said, it's with the same goal.
When you don't meet expectations, are you changing anything in your approach?
Yeah, I mean, you have to. I had a lot of time to reflect after the season was over, and you look back and you're not just gonna be the same guy. There's room for improvement, whether it's communication, whether it's explaining roles, whether it's using your coaching staff. It's just a lot of different ways that I have to be better, and you learn from it.
You think you guys are a championship contender?
If we are a championship contender, yes, 100%. When you look at what David and Steve and Alex continue to bring, you look at our lineup, you look at our pitching staff, I really feel good about where we're at as a team right now.
I know you said we'll be able to handle a transition to third, but what is the challenge of switching?
Yeah, I think it's a different angle. I think that's the biggest adjustment there. Understanding when to come in on a baseball, when to go back. As a shortstop, you have a little bit more time. At third base, the ball's going to get on you a lot faster. So I think that's probably going to be the biggest challenge there. But again, he's an athlete, and the one thing that I'm excited about Bo is just the work ethic there.